get up to 10,000 people to our nice plant. We also will do this on a very hot day, but believe me, on Thursday it will be the hottest day of the year, 38 degrees Celsius. But the most of the tour we are inside and it's not so hot, but we also will go into the plant and into the plant. It's very hot. Okay, the first station is a presentation. I will show you a short movie about my company, and then we also will hear something about the history of the plant. We will hear also about the waste management system here in Vienna, and then we go directly in the plant. But be careful, this is not a museum, this is a modern industrial plant, and maybe there are some trucks coming and some of them will drive too fast. If you have some questions, don't hesitate to ask me. If you want to take some pictures, it's no problem. Okay? So let's start the tour. Please follow me.
Take a photo.
This is Vienna, with its population of nearly 2 million. A figure that is rising by the day because life here is good. Optimistic people, a safe city, comfort all year round, a lot of green, and what's more, the free bonus of healthy air. However, this is not something we should take for granted, as it is a different story in many other places. The world has a climate problem, and we will soon feel its increasing impact. Despite that, Vienna is thriving, which makes us very happy. After all, we at Wien Energie have played a role here, reflecting our responsibility as pioneers in technology and innovation for the energy market. We ensure a particularly sustainable power supply around the clock with our 2,700-strong workforce. Our Viennese model has thus gained international recognition, leading experts all over the world to adopt it, and that makes us particularly proud. They learn from us, and we with them, how climate change can be stopped and how to make a sustainable world possible. Electricity from the sun, wind, water, biomass, waste, geothermal energy, and natural gas helps to ensure the quality of life in our city in the long term. The proportion of renewable energy will increase to 50% by 2030. To achieve this, citizens can, for example, acquire shares in our solar power plants and wind farms. It creates a joint commitment to responsibility and interest in the future. Take our cogeneration power plants with their high energy efficiency. We generate heat and electricity from natural gas, forest biomass, and waste, for instance, and can thus supply comfort all over Vienna with a clear environmental conscience. Or our 400 charging points for electric cars and bikes that help Vienna to run green. All these measures contribute to the fact that emissions are continuing to fall in Vienna year after year. What is also important to us, a sustainable future needs enlightened people, which is why we share our knowledge and skills with our customers. Energy efficiency is an issue we take very seriously. In selected locations, we are available anytime to answer any questions on energy and give tips as to how and where it is possible to sensibly generate and save energy in the long term. We maintain an active dialogue on social media and provide information relating to energy, as well as our many activities in the areas of sports and culture. Wien Energie.
Yes, this was a short introduction. Provide of energy. We bring about 2 million people here in Vienna, but also in the surroundings. Electricity, gas, district heating, and for some bigger customers also district cooling. We're going to have a look on the two main products. This is district heating and district cooling. So let's have a look on the thermal waste incineration plant Spittelau. And until 1987, it looks like on the left picture. And then on the 15th of May in 1987, a big fire destroyed our plant. We had luck, no one was killed or wounded. But we also had a big problem. For more than 2 years, we cannot burn waste here. We have to bring the waste to a landfill. The landfill ultimately is the only landfill which we still have for household waste in Vienna, and with a size of about 60 hectares, also the largest landfill all over Austria. And this is a picture of these days where all the waste trucks of the city of Vienna, which normally drove to our plant, drove to this plant. Each truck brings us about 6 tons of household waste, approximately. In our times, it's no more allowed and possible to bring waste to a landfill. It's forbidden in Austria since the 1st of January 2009. We have to do other things with the waste. Here in Vienna, we are going to burn the whole household waste. To burn the waste, we renewed the plant and we built in a modern wet flue gas cleaning so that there is no more dirt coming out here on our chimney. And we also had the idea to bring the design in a new, friendly design. And we asked a world-known artist, and this artist was Master Friedensreich Hundertwasser. But at the beginning, Hundertwasser was not very happy with our ideas. He told us, no, I hate waste incineration plants, I won't help you. We told him that we built in this flue gas cleaning, and we also told him that if the Spittelau is not here, that 60,000 flats will pollute the Vienna air without flue gas cleaning. And after a long time of thinking, he thought 1 year about this. He said, okay, this is a good idea that you can produce here for about 60,000 flats clean and green energy. And he made the Spittelau to one of the top 10 sites from whole Vienna. From all over the world, the people are coming. Last year, there was the first group here from North Korea, from South Korea. Lots of groups are coming. Last autumn was a group from North Korea also. I was a little bit proud of this. Yes, and before we see the inside of the Spittelau, let's have a look on our chimney. A chimney with a height of about 126 meters. And in about nearly 120 meters, there are some animals living. They are living our falcons. We create new buildings, and Hundertwasser told us, falcons, they need red tiles to be happy. Okay, we brought them red tiles to the places where they live. Every year we have 1 pair of falcons, normally 3 eggs, and also normally 3 young birds. These falcons are shy birds, and the day when the trucks are here, it's a little bit louder, they hate it. But early in the morning or late in the afternoon, you can see them flying around our chimney. This picture we took years ago, and one of these 3 birds was very interested in our plant. He found an open window and flew directly in the plant, looking around what we're doing, but then he had a problem. He cannot find the way out. My colleagues working in the plant found the bird and called us. Please come to us over to the plant. Take a camera with you. There's a crazy bird in here. I asked him, crazy bird? Is my boss with you? Not this crazy bird. It's a real crazy bird. It looks like an eagle, but it's too small for eating. Okay? We thought they were joking, but we went over to the plant and we found also the bird. We took some pictures, and then we thought about how to bring the bird out of the plant. And he's not allowed to stay in the plant without a helmet. Such a small helmet we didn't have. Yeah? Okay, a colleague of me came to the situation. His name's Mr. Winkler, and he's a very brave colleague, and he put a glove, a leather glove on his hand, and he brings his hand to the falcon. And the falcon jumped on his hand. Yes, and I think it's the only falcon in the world which goes with Mr. Winkler to the elevator, and he brings him again on the roof. He brings him here on the roof. The falcon flies again, had a look on our small, nice forest, and then wants to go again to the window. but for his security we closed this window. Yes, this is a nice story about these beautiful birds and these falcons. They are also a sign that the flue gas which is coming out here is very, very clean. Yes, the burning of waste is only one step of waste management in Vienna. We have 3 steps. The first and important step is to avoid waste. If we avoid waste, it's not necessary to burn him or do other things. Second step is the separation of waste. This is one of about 2,500 waste separation stations which we have in Vienna, and we separate here papers, biological material, metals, plastic bottles, and white glass and dark glass. The city of Vienna gives us a lot of information about the waste separation. We have a special brochure which you can download on the website of the city of Vienna in several languages, and we also have the so-called Wien.at newspaper. This Wien.at newspaper is a newspaper goes every 3-4 weeks to all the flats in Vienna where actual teams were described and copied for you. Here the waste separation in Germany, Mülltrennung. And we also have the so-called Mistplätze. These Mistplätze are very important if you have larger pieces of waste, like an old bathroom, old refrigerator, but also hazardous wastes from the households you can bring to these places and you don't have to pay for it. And then we have the third step of waste management in Vienna, and this is what we are doing here. This is the burning of waste. This is a view of the place before the bunker, and here you can see a lot of trucks. They're coming Monday to Friday. If there's a holiday, they also have to come on Saturday. Up to 220 waste trucks. They're coming twice a day. First in the morning. Wait here, then we're going to open up our 8 doors to drive to the bunker, and 6 tons per truck going to the bunker. Then they drive again to the city, looking for some fresh waste, coming in the afternoon a second time. The waste is in the bunker. We are going to see this bunker in some minutes. And now my colleagues, the grand operator, have to do their duty, and they have 3 important things to do. First thing, they have to bring the waste from the side where it comes from trucks here with their clamshells to the other side. Then they have to mix up the waste, and then they have to look for some larger pieces. They have to put it out there. You cannot imagine what we found in here in the bunker. For example, half a cow. Half a cow. But this wasn't the largest thing. The largest thing we ever found in here was a whole cow, a whole VW Beetle. It did not come with a truck. It's too big for a truck. But we have many big companies in our city. They have a lot of waste and buy big containers. Yeah? The women which clean the office buildings, they throw the waste bags in the containers. Nobody knows that under the waste bags was a whole cow. Rather big. Yeah? But this was the largest thing we ever found in here, and we burned waste here since the year 1971, 47 years. Yes, and his third thing to do, he has to fill up the filling hoppers. Every 10 to 15 minutes he brings up to 3 tons of waste with the clamshell here in one of the both filling hoppers. Here we can see the whole system. The trucks are stopping here. Yeah. Here is a border of concrete, cannot fill in. They bring the waste here in the bunker. Grand operator comes with the clamshell, brings it from this side on the other side. It's going to mix it up, looking for some larger pieces, and then you have to fill up the feeding hopper. From this place, it goes very, very slowly to the crate. The crate is as big as the seats here, and here we are going to burn the waste with a temperature of about 850 to maximum 1,200 degrees Celsius. It's not necessary to add things like gas or oil, but we need air. We have to blow some air under the flames to let them rise. And we took this air from the bunker. Why from the bunker? Because this air in here is dirty. If waste is here up to 2 weeks before we are going to burn it, it might be 1-2 weeks in the bin in the flat, maybe 1-2 weeks in the bin in the house, it might be 5-6 weeks of it. It smells not very good. And we are with our plant here, directly in the center of Vienna. The living, working, and studying thousands of people around us, so we have to work very clean. Yeah? We bring this dirty air out of the bunker, blow it under the flames, let the flames rise, and then we can clean also this dirty air with our flue gas cleaner. We also close the doors of the bunker if there are no more trucks coming, so that there's no dirty air going out. The next step is the flue gas cleaning, but I will show you over there in the plant. At the end of the short presentation, let's have a look on the district heating system in Vienna. District heating is hot water, up to 150-degree hot water. And we need this hot water for about 370,000 flats and about 7,000 bigger customers. We have a market share of about 36%, so that we can say more than a third of the Viennese people that have district heating. Where does it come from? It comes from Spittelau. But we renewed our plant between 2012 and 2015. After 40 years of burning waste, it was necessary. At the end of the tour, we'll tell you something about this construction site. Now we are finished, and now we can burn again 250,000 tons of waste per year. This is approximately a third of the Viennese household waste. Then we have here the old Flötzerstein. The Flötzerstein is the oldest waste incineration plant in Austria. It's a little bit smaller, they burn about 200,000 tons per year. And then we have here the Pfaffenau. The Pfaffenau is about 9 years old, is as big as our Spittelau. Beside another very important plant, this is the so-called Simmeringer Heide. The Simmeringer Heide is a plant where we burn hazardous waste from all over Austria. In spring, in summer, and in autumn, this is enough energy. We have to shower hot and wash the dishes, but we don't have to heat. In winter, it's not enough energy. In winter, we have to heat our houses in flats. In winter, we also turn on the bigger plants of the Wien Energy, especially Simmering. Simmering is the biggest power plant from Austria. It can bring nearly to the half of the Viennese people electricity. We turn these plants on in winter when we don't have so much electricity from the plants on the Danube. The bigger plants, they burn normally gas. We also can burn oil, but normally we burn gas to produce electricity. If you do this in this way, you have a lot of hot water. In former times, you bring the hot water to the Danube channel and to the Danube, so that the fish can be happy about it. I don't think that the fish were happy about the hot water. And then they built in a new part in Germany, we call it Kraft-Wärme-Kopplung, and with this Kraft-Wärme-Kopplung it's now possible to use both hot water for district heating and electricity. And then we have enough energy. But if we have to shut down one of the bigger plants in winter, or if it's very cold, the last winter, especially February and March, was a very good winter for my company. We can earn a lot of money because it was very cold. On the 1st of March in 2018, 15 degrees under zero, very cold, but no problem for us. We turn on some smaller plants. These smaller plants are very similar to the bigger ones. They also burn gas, but in the smaller plants, we only produce hot water. If it's very cold, in February 2012, we had 20 degrees under zero here in Vienna. It was no problem. We produced a lot of hot water and no one has to freeze. Yes, these were the main facts about the main product here. This is district heating since 2009. We have another product. This is a product for the hot summers, like this thing. Yeah? This is district cooling. Yeah? And at the end of the tour, we also go to the cellar, and I will show you also the district cooling plant. Now, we made a short break. If you need a restroom, outside on the left side are the restrooms. If you want to have some information, please take it also in English. And then we start again in 3-4 minutes and go directly to the plant, okay? All the trucks, we want to know how much waste they're bringing, and then they have to pay for it. The price for the ton of waste is about 200 euro. We're going now out, we can check out the weight. Let's see how heavy we are. But please take care. Yeah? Maybe there are some trucks coming. If there's a truck coming, we have to leave the weight immediately. So please follow me.
Nee, nicht schlecht, der ist auch raus. Ich finde das recht gut, die von dir weiß, okay.
Okay.
Zoger.
This is the bridgeway. Come all on the bridgeway. Let's see how heavy we are. I'm sure you're not a heavy crew. I'm sure. Come all on the way. All on the way.
No, right here.
Here's the way, yeah? Okay. Come to us.
We are weighing ourselves.
You are not a heavy group. My heaviest group was here 1.5 years ago, a group from Germany. Very big Germans, 37 men. 4,300 kilo. But before they were here, they were in the Schweiz house in the Prater. They drank a lot of beer and ate stelzen. Okay? And now we are going upstairs. Please follow me.
Do you feel better?
Yeah. Because now I'm numb. You know? I'm so tired. Like my body is like numb.
No feeling.
So please take care here. We have a small construction right here. Come to me here. On this side, please. Stay here. Okay.
Stay here. This is the waist.
I'm sorry, we have a person with a broken leg.
Yeah,
So, and the others.
Oh, we have inside there's the elevator for him. No problem. On the place before the bank, it's silent, but in some hours, the early morning, it's not silent because then the trucks are coming here, waiting here, and then we are going to open doors and then to bring the waste here to the bunker. We can smell a little of waste now because it's windy, but if it's not windy, you won't smell waste here, and this is good so. If you look over there on our chimney, very high up, you can see also the places where the falcons are living. Can you see? Yeah? Maybe you can see them flying around. But I think they were searching for a mouse or anything else small. Yeah? But now let's go over there. Follow me. Trucks are here in the afternoon the second time, then they're very long in duty. They're starting their duty at 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of them they have no time for a break, and some of them they need a restroom. So we built them here a very, very special 100-Wasser restroom. There is a story about this restroom. As the workers were here and they put the tiles in and want to give the mirror in, 100-Wasser was also here. He saw it. He was very angry about it. He told them, no, 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 you cannot do this. He took a hammer, threw it in the mirror, and then he told them, now you can build it in, you can have a look. So they built it in. He also told us, a straight line is without God. Let's have a look on the places where we park the cars. They are also designed. But now, please follow me, we go in. Directly in the blast. Can you smell some waste? No. We can smell coffee, but not waste. It's very important. And this was Master 100-Wasser who renewed the plant after the big fire. We also did something for him. 100-Wasser loved to design his own clothes, beginning from his shoes up to his world-known caps. And after the fire with the renovation works, we had a small problem. On the roof, there was a part of the plant, and this part was not very beautiful. And my colleagues, they thought about how to make this part so beautiful that also Master Hundertwasser can be happy about it. And after a long time of thinking, they had the idea. We will take his cap, we'll make it very big, 5 meters, and we will bring it on this part. They did it, and Hundertwasser didn't know it. And as he saw it, he was very happy about it. We also built in here the so-called Hundertwasser path here in the plant. This was a path to the whole plant. We go to the flue-gas cleaning, and we can go also to the boilers, between the two boilers. It was the most impressive station in this place. It's very hot, you can feel the energy, and we can look also through a glass into the fire. Then I told you we renewed the plant. We put the Hundertwasser path away, and sorry, they didn't build it up. Totally, it's too expensive and it's too dangerous. But we will see into the fire. To go to the first station of the Hundertwasser path, we have to climb up 3 floors. For your colleague with the broken leg, we have a small elevator here. Please go up to the 5th floor, okay? 5th floor, the others, we are walking. Follow me. Also this direction. Okay, group is complete? Yeah. Perfect. Yes, this is the Viennese waste. The most people in Vienna, they separate the waste, but we also have some black sheep. They don't do it. What a pity. Yeah? Glass, metal, papers, plastic bottles are in the household waste. We have no possibility here to separate, and it's not our job. This is the job of the Viennese people to do that. And there is a lot of food in the waste. This is not a problem in Vienna, this is a worldwide problem. Do you know that 1/3 of the worldwide production of food goes to the waste? 1/3! Millions of tons! Oh my God, cannot believe it. Yes, the main reason here for us to burn waste is to reduce its volume. We reduce it to about 10%. These 3 things are remaining. From the burning of waste, the slag, yeah, here you can see some parts of glass, some metal parts, some parts of pipe. We cannot burn this. Then we have the flue-gas cleaning in 3 steps. The first filter is a brand new filter, built in for the new boilers. It's a backhouse filter. Brings out the ash. Then we have the wet flue-gas cleaning in 2 steps. You can compare it with a very, very big shower. We wash out the dirt of the flue-gas. So we have a lot of dirty water. We clean this water, and then we give it cleaner back to the Danube channel as we took it before, and then we have the so-called filter cake. In September, we're starting again with tours with the children, and then I told the children, "Children, this is a cake!" But we cannot eat it. It's very dangerous. It contains heavy metals like cadmium, like mercury and other things, and we have no place in Austria where we can bring it. We have to bring it to our German friends. They have an old salt mine. There it is. The 3rd filter is a so-called denox filter. Here we can destroy the NOx gases. The NOx gases were produced if you drive with the car or if you burn waste. And we also can destroy the dioxin and furans. Yeah? This plant in Spittelau was the first plant in the whole world which can destroy the dioxin and furans in the early 90s up to 100%. We are very proud of this. Yeah? Okay, the filter cake goes to Germany, but what happens to the slag and the ash? We give it back to the city of Vienna. With an electromagnet, they put out the iron metals here, they can sell it, and then they are going to mix it. They mix slag, ash, water, and cement. It becomes the so-called slag concrete. Yeah? This slag concrete goes to the landfill. We have a very hard law in Austria. We are not allowed to do other things with this material because this is classified as waste. And we are not allowed, as our neighbors, Germany, Switzerland, France, to build the underground of streets. Some months ago, there was a delegation from the ministry here, and they told me we will repair this law so that we also can use it for the building of the underground of streets. If you turn, you can see Master Hummelwasser sitting in his garden. Come on the other side if you want, so that you can see it better. Drinking a glass of water, and he was a big saver of nature. I met him very long time ago. I was a young student in 1984, and I met him personally. If he takes a bath, then he brings his used water to a special plant like this, and all the small animals and plants in here clean his water again so that he can drink it. And here on the right side you see him on his ship on the Regendag, on the itself. But this is the wrong place to burn the waste. It should burn behind the wall in the two boilers. So we have to control its temperature. And if we see it's too hot, he brings the waste that comes with the clamshell and brings the waste on the other side. If there is a fire in here, but it's never been, also the big fire in 1987 was behind the wall. We have on the left, on the right side, two big foam cannons, and we can blow a lot of foam over the flames, but we never used it. And I hope it will be not necessary to use it. You can imagine if there is a fire in here, we have very big problem. Okay, the work here, my colleagues, they need a special driving license. It looks very simple with the joysticks, huh? But believe me, this is not simple. Huh? Okay, if you have seen it, we go the same way back, please. Same way back.
If you're good at the store when you pick up the toys, right? This would be a cool job.
Wow.
How many bodies have been dropped in here? Wastelands. Delicious.
Interested in arts and architecture, was interested in many things, also driving with a special bike with a biological food. And this was also very typical, always with his plants. He loved plants, and he told us, people, we need more plants in our city, especially more trees. His first plantings events were here in Italy, in Milano, and later, as he started to create buildings like also our Spittelau, he always reserved some space for his friend, the tree. We also had such a tree, but it was on the construction site, so we have to build a new tree, as a plant a new tree. And also in the simple things of life, like writing letters, he did it very, very special. And this wonderful letter he wrote us from New Zealand, we bring here to show our guests, but also to ourselves, to remember a great artist and friend of nature. Yes, the reason for this letter was not so good, because Herbert Henke was here the boss, and with Herbert Henke, Hundertwasser renewed the plan. He died much too early of cancer. For me, this is also a very important place, especially at the end of the week when I stand here with my last group and I'm a little bit tired from a lot of tours. Here I can recharge my batteries because there's a lot of energy in here. Give me 5 seconds. Okay, fully charged. If you turn, you can see him again standing in front of one of his houses in New Zealand. And he also told us, if you build a house, you have to bring the soil which you took out for the cellars again on the roof. He did it with his own buildings, and he also did it with the most of the buildings created by him. You have seen our small forest. If you look over there in the office building, all is green. Plants were very, very important for him, and they should be very important for us. Oh, but now we're going back from the nature to the technique. Here's the so-called Warte. The Warte is our control room. Follow me. all the processes here in the Spittelau. My colleagues, they are also on shift. They're working day, night, on the weekend. On the day 8.5 hours, at night 10 hours. We also burn waste around the clock. Here we can see all the process, and if there is a problem, we can see it over there, red underlined things. There are problems, they will solve it from here. If we have some bigger problems, like half a cow in the bunker, or twice a man fell in the bunker, they have to go over there to solve the problems. There are all members of the fire rescue. Over there you can see the helmets, the jackets, the boot, and then we can solve also these problems. But here in the Spittelau, we don't have so much problems. As I told you, here we also have the screens. They are brand new for the crane system. I told you from 17 o'clock the crane system runs automatically, and from this place we can control it, and if we see there's a problem, they can stop with the red button and the atomic rocket goes. No atomic rocket. Then we can work manually from this place with the both cranes. Yeah? Yes, as I promised you, the view into the fire. Look over there and on the other side. I love it. A lot of waste is burned and a lot of green and clean energy, excuse me, take care, is produced. At this time we produce 71 megawatt of district heating. This is a lot of, yeah? And we also can produce now much more electrical energy. We had an old generator, he can produce up to 5 megawatt, now up to 14. In our times we produce nearly 30, 12.76. Yeah? We need the electrical energy here for the plant, we need it for the office building. In winter we sell it to the net, and in summer we are going to produce district cooling out of it. It's not only possible to produce district cooling out of the hot water, it's also possible with electrical energy. And we are now going into the cellar, and I will show you also this plant, if you want. I hope so. The so-called mob in Osaka, Japan. Here you have a picture. I think my plant is much more beautiful, but please check it out for yourself. It's not necessary to fly to Japan. We have internet. We Google the map, and you can walk virtually around the plant. We also did something similar. We designed an app. With this app, it's now possible to walk virtually into the Spittelau. For us, for the groups, and also for me, I'm not allowed to go in, but with this app, you can walk virtually in the plant. I was also in the project team, and I checked it out. One of the first I checked it out. You can have the software for this app on our website. It's for free, and then you will need some virtual reality glasses. You can buy it on our shop if you don't have some, only for some euros. And then you put your smartphone in, you start the app, and only with your eyes you walk to the plant. You can go to the boilers, you can go to the Flugas clinic, and I always want to go high up. I go to the roof here, and you have a wonderful view around Vienna. Yes, the finishing of this plant in the mob, 100% didn't see because it died in February 2000. And we have to go to the district cooling plant, and before we go in, I have to ask you a question. I have to ask all my groups this question. Has anybody of you a pacemaker? No. I also have no pacemaker. If I have a pacemaker, I have a big problem, because then I'm not allowed to work in here. Because there's a lot of electrical energy in here, and it might be a big problem for people with a pacemaker. For us and for our cell phones, it's no problem. We can go in. District cooling, please follow me. Come in. Please watch the steps here. District cooling. Let's go over there, up to the black stairs. Come in. District cooling. This is the room of cooling.
Oh, it's warm.
Come a little bit more in the room, a little bit more in the room, so that you can see this here. We are going to produce out of the hot water of the heating plant, and it comes behind you here in the back. This here is an old tunnel of the tram. The tram was here before we had the subway. Yeah? We bought this tunnel years ago, and then we had the idea to bring district cooling to the General Hospital. This is the biggest hospital in Austria. And then we remembered we have this tunnel, and this tunnel is perfect. It's about 140 meters long, because for district cooling you need a lot of space. Yeah? Here you can see some pictures of the construction site. Here you can see also absorption chiller. This is one of our biggest machines and we cannot bring it in here. So we have to open the streets where the waste trucks are coming, bring the machines in, and then we close this with special elements of concrete which we can change quickly. We have three possibilities to make district cool. First possibility with the absorption chiller and with the hot water of the heating plant. The second possibility is with a compression chiller. The compression chiller works like a refrigerator. Needs electrical energy, which we are going to produce by ourselves. The third possibility I will show you over there. We are going now through two rooms. In both rooms it's very loud. In the second room on the right side you can see the compression chiller. This is a very strong cooling machine. Cooling power 7 megawatts, but also very loud. And in the third room I will tell you something because in this room it's not so loud. Okay, please. But now to the third possibility to make district cooling. I can show you here over there. This is a so-called plate heat exchanger. We need this small but smart machine for the free cooling. Free cooling, it works in winter. When we took the cold water from the Danube channel, it's not very far away, bring it in, and then we can cool in winter very, very cheap. Normally, we have to heat our houses and flats in winter, but we have some special customers like laboratories or bigger companies with own server rooms, and you have to cool the server rooms a whole year long. And with this machine, it's a very cheap thing. The last winter I told you was a good winter for my company, especially February and March. It was very cold, and in this time we also can use this machine because the water of the Danube channel must be very cold. Maybe the next winter will also be a good winter, then we can use it again. I love it. It's a very simple machine, and it's also cheap to buy. But now to one of our biggest machines. It's an absorption chiller. These pipes are conducted the whole year long. In these pipes is the cold water which we bring to the customer. The main customer is the General Hospital. It's about 1.8 kilometers away from here. We produce here very cold water, 3.5 degrees Celsius. We bring it to the hospital. In the hospital it has about 6-7 degrees Celsius. This is okay for acclimatization. After the cooling process, the water is warmer. It comes back to us, 12 to 16 degrees. We have to recool it. How we make it? You all know water with a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius begins to boil with normal pressure. But if we reduce the pressure, very low pressure, 6 millibars, it begins to boil with 1 degree Celsius. So we can recool. But this circle is not stable. It's like you drive with the car. If the full is empty, you have to bring energy, full it in. We also need energy. And we took this energy from the hot water of the heating plant, 150 degrees Celsius up. And we need also a little chemicals, not very much. This is lithium bromide. Lithium bromide is a salt. It works with the water, and we have two more circles, and they stabilize the main circle so that we can always produce cold water. This absorption chiller has a cooling power of 5 megawatts. There's another one standing behind so that we have here 10 megawatts, outside 17 megawatts. this is a middle-sized cooling plant. You can see there's space left. We want to build in much more machines in, and in 3 years we want to have the maximum capacity of 40 megawatts. This is one of the biggest cooling plants all over Austria, because we believe that the next summers will be also like this summer, very hot. Okay, yes, what we need now is money. This machine is cheap, but this is a very, very expensive machine. We also can buy these machines if we have new customers. The boss of the cooling system here told me some weeks ago he has some new customers, and they also sign up the contract, and he bought a new machine, and in some months we also will have the next compression chiller. Yes. Okay, and we go around, especially after the melting of the snow or after thunderstorms. But this water is in the machine. If we don't do something against it, we have to shut down the machines to clean them. But this is not possible. So the technicians had a good idea. In this small red pipe here, we blow in some plastic foam balls, blue plastic foam balls, and then clean the machine. As I heard it before, I cannot believe it. And my technician said, come next week, the machine is open, and look into the heat exchanger there. Clean. This is a very, very simple system and a very cheap system to clean this big machines. And over there, there's the station I can show you. We start the machine at the end of April, beginning of May. Then we have 2 bags of these balls. We bring it in. We start the motor, the pumps, and then they were brought here in the machine. They clean the heat exchanger and coming back after 10-15 minutes. Here we can control its color. If the color is bright blue or gray, no problem. We don't have to do something. Automatically they were brought in the machine. If they are dark gray or brown or black, they are used. We bring them out. Only some handful they can burn, Then we bring the new balls in, and then we can clean again for about 3 months. After 3 months you have to change. Such a simple system, such a cheap system. The founder of the idea is a German company, Linde Climatization. This is a system working in all the cooling machines around the world. We need much more of these ideas for our planet. I love it. I will wait here only for 1 minute that you can see it. We can hear it, It makes a pop, and then the balls are coming. But mostly they are coming if I'm going away, so I'm going away and you can stay here, okay, for a minute,